They were China's royal couple, beautiful, powerful, and richer than anyone dared to imagine. Huang Xiaoming and Angelababy weren't just movie stars. They were the face of a new kind of Chinese dream. Their love story was everywhere. On billboards, in magazines, on television. When they married in 2015, the world watched a spectacle unlike anything China had ever seen. A wedding worth $31 million, attended by hundreds of celebrities, dripping in gold, Swarovski crystals, and designer gowns. It was more than a ceremony. It was a statement. China could create its own Hollywood fairy tale. But fairy tales fade. And in modern China, perfection is dangerous. After years of dominance, countless endorsements, and a combined net worth nearing $600 million, the couple suddenly vanished. No more red carpets, no variety shows, no interviews, except for one. A single, seemingly harmless conversation that would become the last time either of them appeared publicly. Within weeks, their names were filtered from search engines, their appearances quietly canceled, and their fame, once the envy of a nation, disappeared into silence. What happened to Huang Xiaoming and Angelababy? Were they victims of scandal or of a system that decided they'd become too visible, too rich, and too influential to control? Tonight, we unravel how China's most glamorous love story turned into a cautionary tale, and how one interview ended an empire built on beauty, money, and power. Before the silence, before the rumors, they were China's brightest stars, a modern-day fantasy that felt too perfect to be real. Huang Xiaoming was already a household name when he met Angelababy, a rising model from Hong Kong known for her charm, youth, and beauty. He was the established actor, the gentleman with a decade of hit dramas and films. She was the new face of China's post-1990s celebrity era, international, glamorous, and endlessly marketable. Together, they became the couple that redefined what fame looked like in a country obsessed with success. When they married in October 2015, it wasn't a wedding, it was a national event. Held at the Shanghai Exhibition Center, it looked more like a royal coronation, a custom Dior gown, a 10-foot cake, and a guest list featuring China's biggest stars, from Li Bingbing to Wang Xichong, the son of one of China's richest men. The entire ceremony was live broadcasted and estimated to have cost over $31 million, instantly earning it the nickname, the Chinese Royal Wedding. Even Western media covered it, calling it Asia's most extravagant celebration of love. That day, the couple became untouchable. Their love story symbolized the new Chinese dream, young, rich, and self-made. Huang was the embodiment of the perfect man, successful, polite, and loyal. Angelababy was the new era's ideal woman, elegant, fashionable, and adored by millions. Together, they were the power couple every brand wanted and every fan worshipped. The years that followed were a golden age for both. Huang Xiaoming starred in box office hits like American Dreams, In China, and The Message, becoming one of the few actors equally respected in film and television. Angelababy, meanwhile, turned into a brand empire of her own. She appeared in international fashion campaigns, became a judge on the hit reality show Keep Running, and was named an ambassador for Givenchy, Estée Lauder, and Dior. At her peak, she was one of the highest-paid actresses in Asia, earning over $25 million a year. Their social media presence was unmatched. Combined, they had more than 200 million followers, and every post, from vacations to casual selfies, sparked national headlines. They were the face of luxury, the dream every young couple in China aspired to. Fans didn't just admire them, they invested in them, buying products they endorsed and following their every move. But beneath the perfect photos and endless sponsorships, something began to shift. The line between fame and power started to blur. Their wedding, once celebrated, began to symbolize something else: extravagance, waste, and vanity. As China's government grew increasingly uncomfortable with displays of wealth and Western-style celebrity culture, Huang and Angelababy's image, once aspirational, started to look excessive. Still, in those early years, no one could have imagined what was coming. They were too beloved, too visible, too valuable. Their faces were on every magazine, their smiles on every billboard. They embodied an era when Chinese entertainment seemed unstoppable, when glamour was power and success was worshipped like a religion. But like all fairy tales, this one carried a hidden warning. Because in China, every empire, even one built on love, exists only as long as the system allows it to. By 2017, Huang Xiaoming and Angelababy were no longer just a couple. They were a brand, a billion-yuan enterprise built on flawless public image. Everything about them, from their smiles to their outfits, was carefully engineered to sell perfection. Together, they dominated China's entertainment scene and represented the height of celebrity culture in a country obsessed with luxury and fame. Angelababy, born Yang Ying, had gone from a Hong Kong model to one of the most recognized faces in Asia. She wasn't just famous, she was everywhere. Her image was on billboards for Dior, Cartier, and Estée Lauder. She was front row at Paris Fashion Week, featured in Vogue China, and constantly photographed with the world's top designers. To her fans, she was the definition of modern Chinese beauty: international, confident, and untouchable. To brands, she was a marketing goldmine, a woman who could make anything sell. Huang Xiaoming, meanwhile, had transitioned from leading man to full-fledged mogul. After years of blockbuster roles in films like American Dreams, In China, and The Message, he began investing heavily in restaurants, film studios, and tech ventures. He owned production companies, equity stakes, and luxury properties. While Angelababy represented youth and glamour, Huang embodied success and stability. Together, they became the perfect formula: beauty, brains, and billions. Their lives played out like a scripted fantasy. Luxury vacations in the Maldives, charity galas in Shanghai, matching designer outfits at every red carpet event. Their photos dominated Chinese social media, drawing millions of likes within minutes. Every anniversary, every birthday, every public appearance was perfectly staged, an orchestrated spectacle that kept their popularity at a fever pitch. Behind the glitter, though, was an industrial machine built on precision and control. The couple's management teams coordinated everything: lighting, tone, timing. Each post had to fit their brand narrative: happy, humble, and aspirational. Every image was curated for maximum engagement. Every appearance planned to feed a single illusion: that they were living proof of China's new golden age. And for a while, it worked perfectly. They topped Forbes' China's celebrity list, earning tens of millions per year. Angelababy was called the face of Chinese luxury, while Huang was praised as the gentleman husband every woman dreams of. Their love story became its own product, a kind of emotional propaganda for the entertainment industry. But fame that massive comes with consequences. The same system that elevated them could just as easily turn against them. Online critics started calling their marriage too commercial. Rumors about cosmetic surgery, body doubles, and fake social media followers began to circulate. Others questioned whether their relationship was even real or just another PR strategy. Still, they remained untouchable until the environment around them changed. By 2020, the Chinese government had started pushing for a cleaner and more moral entertainment culture. The Qinglang Campaign, meaning clear and bright, targeted what officials called toxic celebrity worship and excessive wealth displays. Suddenly, the traits that had made Huang and Angelababy so powerful, their wealth, luxury, and visibility, became liabilities. Government media began criticizing vulgar celebrity lifestyles and idols who promote materialism. Without naming names, the commentary was a direct shot at stars like them. Clips from their $31 million wedding resurfaced on social media, this time as examples of excess and waste. The same photos that once made fans dream were now being used to question their morality. The couple tried to adapt. Huang took on more wholesome roles, hosting patriotic programs and donating to charity. Angelababy started posting family-oriented content and reduced her public appearances. But the shift felt forced. The glossy, Western-style glamour that had defined them no longer fit the country's new tone of restraint and patriotism. By 2021, a quiet transformation was underway. Endorsement deals weren't renewed. Variety shows stopped inviting them. Streaming platforms began featuring new faces, younger, cleaner, safer. Their presence faded not with a scandal, but with silence. The same system that built their empire was now systematically dismantling it. Their story had always been one of visibility, of being seen, admired, envied. But in modern China, visibility is power, and power without control is dangerous. Huang Xiaoming and Angelababy had built an image empire worth hundreds of millions. And now, that empire was collapsing, not from failure, but from invisibility. Because in China's entertainment world, fame isn't something you own. It's something you're allowed to have, until the day the system decides you've had enough. By 2022, the illusion of perfection that Huang Xiaoming and Angelababy had spent years crafting was beginning to fracture. On the surface, everything still looked flawless. Designer clothes, luxury events, curated posts. But behind the curtain, the tone had shifted. What had once been celebrated as China's most glamorous love story was now being quietly scrutinized as a symbol of excess. The turning point came not with a scandal, but with silence. Fans started noticing that Angelababy's once constant presence on television and social media was fading. She stopped posting personal updates. Her long-running role on the variety show, Keep Running, one of China's biggest hits, came to an abrupt end. The official reason? Scheduling conflicts. But in the entertainment world, everyone knew what that really meant. She had been quietly phased out. Insiders whispered that her image no longer aligned with national values. Her fashion partnerships with Dior, Versace, and Givenchy ended one after another. Her face, once a symbol of luxury, was now politically inconvenient. Meanwhile, Huang Xiaoming faced his own unraveling. After hosting several talent shows and variety programs, his name began disappearing from promotional materials. Producers stopped booking him, and endorsements he had held for years were quietly dropped. Then came the interview, the one that changed everything. Late in 2022, the couple appeared together for what seemed like a harmless promotional segment. The host, working for a state-affiliated network, asked them a simple question. What does responsibility mean to public figures today? It should have been easy. They smiled, spoke calmly, and gave a polished answer about living authentically and staying true to ourselves. But within hours, social media lit up. State commentators criticized the answer as self-centered and out of touch. In a political environment obsessed with moral discipline, those few sentences were enough to trigger a quiet erasure. In the weeks that followed, the consequences were immediate and precise. Mentions of the interview were deleted from major platforms. Fan pages dedicated to the couple were shut down for restructuring. Their names stopped appearing in trending lists. Media outlets received informal notices advising against excessive coverage of celebrity lifestyles. And then, nothing. No new appearances, no official statements, no denials. The silence was absolute. For fans, it was a shock. Huang and Angelababy had been everywhere for nearly a decade. Now it was as if they'd never existed. Forums filled with speculation. Some believed the government had blacklisted them for non-cooperation. Others said they'd been warned privately to step back. A few insisted it was a voluntary retreat, an act of self-preservation before the storm hit. But no one knew for sure, and in China, not knowing is part of the design. Behind the scenes, their marriage was rumored to be under strain. The constant pressure, political scrutiny, and the collapse of their empire had taken a toll. The dream that once united them was unraveling under the weight of control and expectation. By early 2023, rumors of their separation spread online, quickly censored, then reposted, then censored again. Neither confirmed nor denied anything. The perfect couple had become ghosts of their former selves, trapped between fame and disappearance. What made their fall so unsettling wasn't its drama, but its precision. There was no public scandal, no legal case, no viral expose, just a quiet, surgical removal from the spotlight. It was the same pattern seen with other stars like Zhao Wei and Li Yifeng. When power wants you gone, it doesn't destroy you. It deletes you. In a country where fame can be built overnight and erased even faster, Huang Xiaoming and Angelababy became a warning. They hadn't broken any laws. They hadn't defied authority. They simply embodied a kind of success, global, glamorous, independent, that no longer fit the narrative. The interview was never about what they said. It was about what they represented: freedom, self-expression, and the illusion that celebrities could exist outside control. And in modern China, that illusion is the one thing the system cannot allow. By the end of 2022, their empire had collapsed without a sound. The red carpets were empty. The brand deals were gone. The fairy tale that began with a $31 million wedding had ended not with scandal, but with silence. By 2023, Huang Xiaoming and Angelababy had become a ghost story. Two of China's most famous faces erased without explanation. There were no official statements, no investigations, no scandals splashed across the news. Instead, they were quietly removed from the ecosystem that once revolved around them. Their faces disappeared from billboards. Their shows stopped airing reruns. Their names stopped appearing in search bars. The couple who once defined modern Chinese fame was gone, replaced by a silence so deliberate that it felt engineered. It was all part of something much bigger. In the wake of the Qinglang Campaign, China's sweeping Clean and Bright initiative, authorities intensified their effort to reshape the country's entertainment industry. The goal was clear: eliminate toxic celebrity culture and restore moral order. To outsiders, it looked like a cultural reset. To insiders, it was a purge. The campaign targeted not just individuals, but an entire ideology, one that equated wealth, beauty, and fame with success. And Huang Xiaoming and Angelababy, with their $31 million wedding and $600 million combined net worth, had become symbols of that ideology. The government didn't need to accuse them of anything. It only needed to remove their image. In early 2023, Angelababy's name was quietly removed from major brand websites. Her ambassadorships vanished from Dior, Givenchy, and Cartier pages without notice. On Chinese streaming platforms, her old films and variety shows began to disappear from recommendation lists. It wasn't censorship in the traditional sense. It was something subtler. The algorithm simply stopped showing her. Huang Xiaoming's fate followed the same path. He was replaced on talent shows, edited out of promotional materials, and his upcoming drama was postponed indefinitely. It was the digital equivalent of vanishing into thin air. In China's controlled media ecosystem, invisibility is the most powerful form of punishment. When the government wants someone forgotten, it doesn't destroy them. It deletes the context that made them matter. The public reaction was confusion, followed by quiet acceptance. Fans initially flooded Weibo with hashtags demanding answers, but moderators deleted the posts within hours. Within weeks, discussion about the couple stopped altogether. On paper, they still existed. In reality, they had been erased from the nation's collective memory. What made their disappearance even more haunting was how normal it seemed. No controversy, no outrage. Just a slow fade into nothing. The same fate that had already swallowed other megastars like Fan Bingbing, Zhao Wei, and Chris Wu. The message was unmistakable. China's age of celebrity excess was over. The Qinglang Campaign wasn't just about cleaning up fame. It was about reclaiming control of the narrative. The government no longer wanted celebrities who looked westernized, who flaunted luxury, or who seemed untethered from state values. The new icons of entertainment would be safe, humble, and loyal, not glamorous, independent, or global. For years, Huang Xiaoming and Angelababy had represented the pinnacle of modern success. They were proof that Chinese fame could rival Hollywood. But in a system built on obedience, they had become liabilities. Their silence, their absence, their complete removal from visibility wasn't a coincidence. It was a warning. Because in today's China, the most powerful thing you can lose isn't your money or your fame. It's your visibility. And once you lose that, you cease to exist. The disappearance of Huang Xiaoming and Angelababy marked more than the end of a celebrity love story. It was the symbolic death of an era. For over a decade, they represented everything China's entertainment industry aspired to be: glamorous, global, and powerful. Their rise showed the world that Chinese pop culture could compete with Hollywood. But their fall revealed something deeper: that fame in China is not freedom. It's a loan that can be revoked at any moment. Even in silence, their story continues to echo through the industry. Producers whisper about their downfall as a cautionary tale. Agents tell young stars to stay humble, stay invisible. Brands have shifted their focus from lavish ambassadors to socially responsible figures who fit the government's ideal of modesty. What once sold, luxury, beauty, and individuality, has now been replaced by a safer image: obedience, restraint, and patriotism. For Angelababy, the shift was especially brutal. She had built her empire on being seen. Every appearance, every outfit, every photo shoot was part of a global narrative of success. When that spotlight vanished, so did her identity. For Huang Xiaoming, who once balanced acting with business ventures and philanthropy, the silence became its own form of exile. He wasn't disgraced, but he was untouchable. Too high profile for comfort, too controversial to rehabilitate. Still, their influence lingers in the cracks of the system that erased them. The generation of stars that followed, influencers, idols, and actors, grew up watching them. They learned the playbook from the power couple who once owned the spotlight. And they also learned the risks of flying too close to it. In that sense, Huang and Angelababy became martyrs of modern celebrity culture, victims of a system that demands total perfection and punishes those who embody it too convincingly. Their downfall wasn't caused by greed or scandal. It was caused by evolution, a government shifting toward ideological purity, an industry purging its excess, and a public growing weary of unattainable luxury. In the end, their love story collided with a political reality where personal fame must always serve national image. For the world outside China, their story offers a rare glimpse into how power truly works behind the curtain of stardom. It's not about who's the most talented or the most admired. It's about who aligns with the narrative. And once you stop fitting that narrative, no amount of money or beauty can save you. The irony is poetic. A couple once celebrated for embodying China's global ambition ended up silenced by that very ambition's consequences. They showed what was possible and why it could never last. Today, if you search their names, you'll still find traces. Old interviews, red carpet photos, forgotten fan pages that somehow escape deletion. They remain in digital fragments, reminders of an era when fame felt limitless. But those fragments only tell half the story, because the real story of Huang Xiaoming and Angelababy isn't how they rose, it's how they vanished. And in their disappearance lies the truth about modern Chinese fame. It shines bright, burns fast, and disappears in silence. They were China's most beautiful couple, a perfect union of fame, fortune, and power. Together, Huang Xiaoming and Angelababy built an empire worth hundreds of millions, commanding red carpets, luxury brands, and the hearts of millions. But in the end, it wasn't a scandal, betrayal, or crime that ended them. It was something far more chilling: silence. No headlines, no trials, no final goodbye. Just absence. One day, they were everywhere. The next, nowhere. Their fall wasn't loud because it didn't need to be. In modern China, silence is the punishment. When the state decides your image no longer serves the story, you simply vanish from it. Their disappearance reminds us that fame, in its highest form, is an illusion of control. You can have everything: money, influence, worship, but none of it belongs to you. It belongs to the system that allows it. And the moment that system turns away, everything you built becomes dust. Yet, even in their erasure, Huang Xiaoming and Angelababy remain legends. Not because of their luxury, but because of what their silence revealed. That in China's entertainment empire, the most powerful story isn't about who rose or who fell, but about who's allowed to exist at all. This is Criminal Tracks, uncovering the stories China tried to rewrite, the stars it erased, and the empires that disappeared in plain sight.